Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Bukola, and AVP with SIMA Funds. And with me here, I have Mr. Shami Haider, who is the head of PMER at House CDS, which is Rural Community Development Program. Mr. Shami Ada joined RCDS since 2008 as manager PMER. Over the years, he has headed the PMER department and recently transferred to the newly established WIC department as manager of the sister company organization, Rural Community Development Program. He has been elemental in developing the overall risk management framework for the institution and work closely with operations, internal audit departments, and quality assurance and compliance for its continuous improvement. He has experience in project management, monitoring, evaluation, planning and research, and project implementation. With me here, I have the head of PMER, Mr. Shamil. Thank you for taking out the time to meet with us. Once again, I'm your host. My name is Nicola Agbi. Um, so I will just go straight, yeah, to the question. And maybe before I go straight to the question, Mr. Sham, is there anything you would like to say so that we don't just jump right into questions? So before I start asking you questions, we just have some questions we would like to, ask you.
Okay, thank you very much for
Okay.
giving me a feedback on my about my profile, and I am thankful to you because I am here for the interview, and I will try to address your questions as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I think my first question would just be to understand how CDP missions and how it aims to provide improved livelihood option for the poor people through its microfinance service. So could you just give us an overview of your organization mission and how you plan to improve the livelihood options for poor people through your services?
Okay, thank you very much. RCDP is a rural community development program. It's a the non-banking microfinance company. But I would like to share the background of the RCDP. This in 1998 from a very remote village in district Nankana with the name of Rural Community Development Society. And the Rural Community Development Society started, the development projects in their respective areas, actually the need based, and that's the districts very deprived in Punjab, especially district Nankana was very remotest area where started RCDS, the working, and our, the founder member of CEO Muhammad Murtaza Khokhar actually was the pioneer of the RCDS and along with his colleagues, and they were like-minded people. And first, they started with the PPEF, Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, and the Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund invested on the development of the Rural Community Development Society. It's developed the systems, and most important on the the capacity building of the institutions. The PPF played a vital role in the development of the Rural Community Development Society. RCDP proved that the very trusted partner with the PPAF, and PPAF started the all integrated projects with the RCDS, and with the passage of time RCDS developed its systems and improved its mobilization skills and implemented an integrated projects. And the parallel, the microfinance services started from RCDS, and RCDS growing gradually in the microfinance services also as RCDS, Rural Community Development Society. And the main mission of the Rural Community Development Society was to empower the community, especially economically, politically, on the societal basis, to improve their living standards. That was the mission of the Rural Community Development Society. And because RCDS was parallel providing the services of the microfinance to the unbanked communities, and that with the gradual they improved their portfolio, and in 2015 there was some changes as a regulator introduced that you should be a separately treat the microfinance services. So RCDS RCDS decided to a separate entity as a RCDP, Rural Community Development Program, for the independent entity of the microfinance services. And the mission was, always, the linked with the RCDS. So RCDP mission that to provide the microfinance finance services to the unbanked community at the maximum levels. So, keeping in view, RCDP developed a strategic business plan uh, for 5 years in 2015 when we were, the transferring in RCDP, and there was a regulator under SCCP, Pakistan Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan, because before we are working as a voluntarily as a society, and there was a not a regular regulator in in our operations. But now after 2015 there was a totally changed, and there was a regulator, there was a systems of microfinance services. So RCDP again set a standard, set a development for the to implement that the regulations, evolve the multiple departments. As I was working in a PMER, but in the RCDP, I designated as a risk head in a RCDP. So I was a long relationship with the RCDP, but I understood the system, how in the monitoring department, how we improved in the research studies, and how we can improve our control. So, keeping in view of that background, I appointed as a risk department, and I totally developed the TORs of the department, and total, the process of the department, and we shared with our management how can we control and how can we improve our systems, and how can we, make our department improvement, keeping in view the betterment of the company. So now, if you look that at the company outlook, so the under PMER, I was working always on the expansion and the growth for the company, and same way in the RCDP, when we developed our 5 year strategic business plan. So in this, we consider how can we expand our business, and how geographically, vertical or horizontal. So first of all, we all management decided we should how do we move for the expansions and outreach. And the second challenge was the funds, was the funds, where we will avail from the funds to meet our the business targets or our strategic business plans. So for this purpose, our management gave a commitment to achieve our milestones which we set. So, in this regard, we contacted with national and international investors as well. Uh, so, we tried to achieve our business plan almost 95% in all years. So, but unfortunately, uh, when the COVID incident in the
Happen.
world. Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a again big challenge for us. So
Okay.
how can we deal with the business in this situation? So our management sit together and we make a plan according to the SOPs of the COVID. So again, we were very committed team, and we decided that we retain our business in the same areas, and we will not close any office in Pakistan which we have opened. So for that purpose, our head of management take a leading role, and we communicated to our field team that this is the strategy, and in this situation, we should move for keeping in view this strategy. So we are trying, but the big challenge was again here the funds. If we want to expand our business, we should have enough resources in a sense. But overall, the keeping in view the Pakistani situation, the second challenge was the political instability in our country. So the international investors and even though the commercial banks was little bit the waiting in the situation that if the situation the politically country will be the stable, then we were so during previous 3 years we did not opened new branch offices, but we retained our all offices as it is before the COVID. So we make a business in our existing branches, and we improved our staff qualities, staff abilities, and we focused on their capacity buildings, their trainings, and the system improvements and improve our control. So now, thanks God, we are confident, and we are, the very strong belief that our systems are going well. And if the scenario can change, and we will move forward for the expansions and growth of the company, as we have a mission to reach out the maximum communities, especially the unbanked community, to provide the community to provide their financial services as well. So
Okay.
that
Thank
I try to address your, the
Yeah,
first
so
question.
you've even covered like four or five of my questions already. You've covered some questions that we have in mind. So you've covered everything in one. We're going to ask you how the program was established. You've already addressed that. We're going to ask you about some of the challenges or obstacles you faced during your journey. You've covered that.
Yeah.
So I think one question that I would like to then ask next is just to ask how RCDP has been able to leverage its partnership with commercial banks, donors, and investors. I think you've also covered that. So, not to waste too much of our time, I think I'll just go to the main question that so, how has the financial support from EDFF enabled RCDP to enhance its microfinance services and expand its reach to underserved and marginalized population. Like you said, one of the mission and vision of RCDP is to reach the underbanked in rural areas to be able to serve them to the maximum. So in achieving this, with the fund that SIMA has extended to your organization under the um, DC under the EDFF. So the
PDF.
question we just like to know is that how did the EDFF, make this dream or make this vision easy for you to achieve?
Sure. Thank you very much. The EDFF fund actually that was the need of the time for RCDP because at that time we were hunting for the funds, even though at our national lenders they are not fulfilling our needs as per the business plan. But at the time, SIMA, the contract was a very useful for RCDP because we actually that fund was a good inject at that time when we are looking for the funds, and there was a less opportunities for the RCDPs to fulfill our funding needs. So the EDFF funds uh, provide us, the support to retain our customers with us, and we provided them, the financial services within a time period. So that was a great opportunity for RCDP, and due to that, we covered, the maximum our customers need, because, the customers can't wait to the RCDP if we have not enough resources for the disbursement. They can move towards from other organizations or the, the companies, because there is a competition. So our, the repeated clients is our assets, and we provide facilities only due to the EDFF, because after the COVID, it was again great demand from the customers for the, the loaning, because there was a business needs of the customers. They want to expand their businesses. They want to run their new businesses. So that's why that fund was very good, the impact for the RCDP. And due to this fund, we would be able to provide the financial services to that our customer, and the customer was happy, and that was a very relief period for us. At least we avail our time for the further funding, but for that period, this fund supported RCDP very well.
That's great news to hear that the fund has created an impact, and that's what we are here to do in SIMA, to create impact. So my next question would be, so can you quantify the scale of impact that RCDP has achieved through the funding received from EDFF, particularly in terms of number of beneficiary reached and community positively affected? Like, so can you give a number to the number of people that this fund had reached, and also in terms of number of community this
Yeah.
fund has helped, your organization reach? Can you give us like a number so that we have a figure to it, just to quantify it? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. As far as number, the we provided from SIMA EDFF funds almost to 54,000 people. 54,000 people, that
Wow.
in the specific of out of 54,000 people, 527 loans were, the small and medium enterprises for that. And
Okay.
that was a great contribution. And as well as 284 from the enterprises development facilities, this is a lower level of the SME clients.
Mhm.
So, and the rest of clients, out of 54 clients, that was the, the business enhancement loans for the credit enterprises development loan. But the good thing is there's the SME clients, which covered under the, the EDFF funds. So that's why this, our big numbers of the customers who avail the financial services under this fund.
Thank you very much. That's great to hear. So it shows that
Yeah,
it's quantifiable. Okay, so I think my next question would then be, also, if we look at in terms of the impact now, we want to look at impact in terms of economic growth, job creation, community development, that you can directly link to the fund that was provided by EDFF. So can you give us like any insight into how this fund has helped in terms of job opportunity, how he has developed a community, just an overview, like an example that you cited, that maybe instead of laying off, you had to retain your staff. So we just want to have an idea of how the fund has impacted directly, aside in terms of the number of clients. How has it helped job creation? How has it even helped the economy? And also, how has it helped the community develop? Considering this set of customers are people in
Well,
underdeveloped, underbanked area. So we'd like to, hear more about that. Thank you.
thank you for this question. As you asked about the community development, the microfinance, is a big source of community development because through the microfinance, the customers start their businesses, they invest in their businesses, and when the businesses grow, they are linked jobs with that businesses. So that's why there was a economic activities and EBFF funds. As I shared previous in questions, there was a 54,000 customers who availed the facility under this fund. When we are talking about the SME business, so SME business mean one business means five jobs created. So if the 500 business mean 1500 jobs created under SME fund. And when we are talking about the EDF, the mean a business that there is a 2% or a job. Or if we are talking about the 300 loans, it means there is a 600 jobs created. So
Okay.
almost 2,100 jobs created under this fund, and the rest
As a
of the loans also being a one job. If you linked with a one loan, so it was a the big numbers for in business in job opportunity, and as well as their economic conditions of that the customers improved gradually. And in this scenario, if they received that fund and they invested in their businesses, and through the businesses activities, their income increased, and as well as they the meet their all expenses like food, like health, like their children's education. So it was due to happen just for the this micro lending activities under the fund, and the huge number of the customers availed these facilities. And through this initiative, because it is not about the just I am just talking about the EDFF, because RCDP is working for almost from 2000 sorry 1998. So there is a almost 25 years. So we know how microfinance is contributing to improve their lifestyle, their economic conditions, their even though the social status in their society. So as well as this was a big contribution when we were waiting for the funds after the COVID, and at national levels we were there are limited funds for with us, and at that time SIMA give a come with us in this partnership, and through this partnership we we delivered this funds to the customers, and they improved their the lifestyle, and definitely their economics credibility improved.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the time so far. So my last question is, in terms of looking ahead, what are LCDP future plans and goals in terms of expanding its impact, reaching more communities, and furthering its financial inclusion initiative? So we'd just like to more like see into what our CDP is considering to do, in the next few years, couple of years. How do you intend to expand to other communities? How do you intend to continue to enrich life, continue to impact people within your country? So we'd just like to have an insight into that, if you don't mind.
So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. As far as the RCDP, have a as I discussed the future plans, we have a plan for especially the financial inclusion. We believe that aligned services with the microfinance, and for this we are focusing on the female customers especially, and we are trying to maximum imparting the financial inclusions among the our female customers as well as the male customers. If you look our the customers, active customers, 94% belongs to the female customers, and 8% just are the male customers. So one thing is very clear: we are trying to improve empowering the women, especially in Pakistan, in their the home level, and as well as economically they will strong. They will take a part in the development of their household as well as. So RCDP has a parallel plan to chart out as a regular capacity building plan of the customer. So our training department has a parallel annual plans, monthly plans, and the 5 years plan with what kind of training we need to deliver. We are not just providing the microfinancing services. We have aligned the services to develop their capacities, their management skills, their institutional skills, their business skills. So one component is the most important. That's why this is the most important. If you are empowering your customers and their skills, their repayment capacity would be impact. So that's why we claim our recovery rate is 99.75% today. So this is our belief and our major objective in the future. And the second part is we have a plan to reach out the maximum communities, and we have a outreach plan, business plan our. And for this purpose, we will try to avail our resources from the national level and as well as international. We have in a pipeline two or three major, the investors from international level. And in Pakistan, we are moving towards the commercial banks, and the commercial banks like the national bank is the big bank in Pakistan. So the national bank is our the good partner with us, and we are gradually increase our the credit line with them, and that's why we will expand our operations widely in all over Pakistan till 2025. We have a very ambitious plan in that field. And why we are ambitious? Because our past track record is very clear and support us because our strategy is good, and through this strategy we will move in other provinces of Pakistan. So uh, this strategy will be ultimate contribute if we have active clients to to five 250,000 at the moment, and we will reach out the 5 lakh customers. It's our strategy. So this is our future plan, and we are very ambitious, and our team is very committed to that business plan.
All right, Mr. Shami, thank you very much for taking out your time, to do this interview with us today. We are really grateful, and I would let you go right now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you
Yeah,
very much. And it was a very interesting interview with you. Thank you.
thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, people, that's a wrap for House CDP Impact Chronicles. Until I see you next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. Au revoir. Bye.